but also I want to do some things to rattle your cage a little bit. And in Dead Assets, it's a horror novel, just like Stephanie said. However, there are other underlying messages there. For instance, the zombies, I have a theory about zombies, and I won't really go off into it too deeply because I don't want to give away the book.
Exactly.
But zombies kind of don't have much of a choice in what it is that they do. Human beings do have a choice. We have a free will, and we can choose to be good or we can choose to be bad. And there are different people in that book who choose different paths, and that's all I'll say about that. I know we did. I did some reading from the book. I read a passage out of it last month when I was on with you, and that was fabulous. Actually, I think it was earlier this month. But I guess we're at the 31st. We're at the 30th of the month, so we're almost like in May. So I'm keep thinking like we're in May already. So.
It feels like it, but
it does.
It does. But I was surprised, even though it was a bad. Oh my God, it was horrible. It didn't pick you up like you wanted to, and so I was working with the engineers today. So, and I did a preview of it, and it picked it up. So, hopefully, if not, Don and I will be redoing it again for real.
Do it again.
Until we get it. We're gonna do it till we get it right before I send it out, and he gonna listen to it too before I send it out. But
Good stuff.
Don's book is really, really good, and he's going to share with us the electric spanking machine today. And that's going to be, you're going to probably say, now, wait a minute, he going from zombies to the electric spanking machine? So I know you think, wow, these people have lost their mind. But today, you know, Don has a wonderful sense of humor, and it's in his book when you read it, too. But whenever you get ready, Don, it's on you. We're ready to listen.
Okay, all right. Well, let me tell you all a little bit about the story before I start reading. I actually wrote the electric spanking machine. I know two mothers who both have twin sons. And this is back when they were younger. It's a few years ago that I actually wrote this. And the twins, being boys and being twins, they just do certain things. And both the moms, on separate occasions, not even knowing each other, said something along the lines, that they wish they had some way to discipline these boys because they were always into stuff, always fighting, always breaking stuff, always just being boys, being twin boys.
Yes.
And so I sat there being my sarcastic self, and I thought, what if I could invent something that could help the moms out? So I ended up writing the electric spanking machine. Well, I took it, and I didn't think too much of it, and I put it away. And some years later, I was taking a college English course, and of course, it had to do with one of my favorite subjects, which is writing. I love to write. So the professor asked us to write a sarcastic, very cynical but comedic piece, and I was like, hell, I got this thing sitting in my archives. I may as well go on and blow the dust off of it and see what happens. So I ended up reading it to the class, and they went up in a frenzy. They were cracking up. Tears in their eyes. And then later on, I was at another school doing some more things with a degree, and they had a contest. And just, on a dare to myself, I said, I think I'm going to go on and submit the electric spanking machine, not thinking that it would even pass muster.
Right.
And surprisingly, it did. And it was actually published in the Tidewater Community College out here in Virginia Beach, Norfolk area.
Okay.
They put out an anthology every year of different authors, poets, short stories, all kind of good stuff. So I submitted to that and was requested to come and read it in front of a wider audience in the auditorium, and it was really good. I was the first person to read. Nobody wanted to get up. I guess people were shy about what they write.
Yes.
I'm bold. I'm gregarious. I'm in your face. I like to have fun. I laugh right in your face. I don't care. And so I read the electric spanking machine, and it got a standing ovation, and people were laughing and cracking up and having a good time. Which is fabulous because everything else that followed was pretty somber. People were talking about overdosing and hanging themselves and slitting their wrists and stuff, and that's not what I'm about at all. I'm about enjoying life because we're only here for a minute,
Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Well, I don't have, that's not in my writing either, so I understand exactly where you're coming from.
Gotcha. Well, without further ado, I'd like to go on and read the electric spanking machine. If
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. The electric spanking machine. Disciplining children can be quite a chore. I recently spoke to a friend of mine who has a pair of teenage boys. They were working overtime to turn their mother's hair stark white with worry. Exasperated one day, she mentioned to me, I wish I had a machine to keep them in line because I get tired of chasing them around. Anyone who has reared teenagers of any gender can probably feel her pain. I know my own kids give me more than my fair share of headaches. Using my imagination, I came up with a device which will relieve the nuisance of running around after those little bastards. The electric spanking machine. Well, great inventions begin with well-conceived ideas. I envision my machine to consist of a cartoonish contraption with 5 fake arms on a vertically mounted wheel. In its simplest form, the culprit will be placed over a stool and the electric spanking machine will go to work. With a mere push of the button, the wheel will begin to turn. The speed could be varied to deliver a few swats on the butt or at full speed, spin at a fever pitch to beat that wayward rascal into a coma. Of course, with everyone being so environmentally conscious nowadays, the fire could utilize the go green option, which allows the wheels to be operated by manual hand crank. What would such a gadget be without the ability to upgrade? With the latest advances in nanotechnologies, my engineers will shrink the original model to something that could easily be carried in mom's purse. Miniaturized nuclear recharging station not included. Also available will be the ability for the machine to automatically activate at certain times of the day or whenever the children perform certain actions. Have you ever had a teenager who likes to talk back? Completely customized to respond to a disrespectful tone or phrase, the electric spanking machine will go into action, smacking your child clean off this ungrateful mug. There have been reports of children who have been knocked into the middle of next week. There are already talks with major cities releasing these machines for use in playgrounds, schoolyards, and shopping malls. I can neither confirm nor deny that General Motors is considering availing the option of the electric spanking machine for its fleet of automobiles, rivaling orders for the OnStar navigation system. Players and hustlers, seeing the advantage of such an invention, will lobby to have the device modified with a horizontal wheel assembly for keeping their hoes in check. Cat Williams and Bishop Don Magic Wand will rechristen this limited, customized Pimp Slap edition, complete with the pink shag or full leopard interior.
All right now.
Hey now, no longer would Sweet Daddy have to worry about getting carpal tunnel syndrome from putting his pimp hand down so many times in a single day. After all, as the saying goes, pimping ain't easy, but it's a full-time gig. Adding the self-activated chokeout option, jive-ass tricks would suddenly fork over every plug nickel of Sweet Daddy's money with the enthusiasm of a church congregation in full swing at offering time. Within a few short weeks, the Electric Spanking Machine Corporation would be publicly traded, allowing the average Joe B. citizen to own a piece of the dream. Stocks are guaranteed to split and fly through the roof, making shareholders not only wealthy, but free of back-talking teenage ingrates. The device makes an excellent Mother's Day gift, and Mother's Day is coming up.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Be the first on your block to own one. Act now to receive one free upgrade at no extra charge. Now, who wants to be the first? Operators are standing by.
I love that.
And that's my story.
I love that. Oh, my God. If my mother would have had one, I'd be dead by now, I'm telling you.
You be dead by now?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So she got her exercise with me, so that's how she...
Yeah.
I was one of those...
Most of us out there who have kids kind of know how teenagers can be. You know, it's like you give birth to them and you take care of them, you change the diapers and feed them and everything. Then all of a sudden, a few years later, they're looking at you like you got a UFO flying out your head or something like that.
I remember when my son turned 13, and he tried me.
Oh, yeah, everything changes.
And then he thought he was going to see Jesus when I finished with him.
So, of course, you got to catch a little with an HG.
Yeah, so I had to let him, let him know who the boss was. Of course, he ain't gonna try that no.
My mom is all of 5'1". She says she's 5'2", but my mom is a midget.
Oh my God.
Hi, Mom. I love you, Mom.
Hi, Mom. We love you. Forgive him for what he said.
You used to knock me and my brother and my sister out. Oh my goodness, she was something else. And it's funny because our dad is he's not as tall as I am, but he's pretty tall, and he's a martial artist. I mean, and he can kung fu you down. I mean, he really is into that 5th-degree black belt and everything.
Right.
But as strong and as vicious as my dad could be, we were more afraid of my mom.
Yeah.
Little bitty, tiny package, and she predated the electric spanking machine by a few years.
Oh, I know. I was there. I mean, like I said, I had one child, and then I keep warning all my friends, when they get 13, that's when you're gonna have to send them to see Jesus, because they're gonna try you.
That's good. They're gonna have to come to Jesus talk. That's
yeah.
Right.
And I said, because it's something about boys. Well, girls probably. I don't have a girl, so I can't speak of that. But I know boys.
I got a girl.
I didn't go through that, so I can only speak about a boy. And my grandson, he got that age, you know. We and him had to have that talk too. So.
Oh yeah.
It's
girls are a little bit different than boys. Girls are a little bit more subversive and a little sneakier with what they're doing. Boys are just we're just dumb. I'm not gonna lie. We guys are just dumb. We do silly stuff like Mama tell you, hey, Junior, keep your hand out the cookie jar. Don't you go in there and get any cookies. And he'll look dead at you and like do this Jedi mind trick, at least he's thinking. You know, she's looking at me. She's looking at my eyes. She's looking at my eyes. She can't see what my hand is doing. She can't see what my hand is doing. And he's dipping off into the cookie jar. Then he gets surprised when he gets knocked out, you know. So, the electric spanking machine can take care of all of that. It can stand and watch while Mom can go and do some other things.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, I can think of so much it could do myself. But, I'm going to have to download that. And, while we're talking about Chicago writers, we're going to talk about Kelly Gilmore. Okay, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
I read her final 2 chapters today, and that book is a must-read. You must, because it's in editing right now. You must buy Mahogany Sin. I'm going to spell Kelly.
Hurry up with that.
Yeah, she got to. You spell Kelly's name, and she has her website up now. It's Kellee. Last name Gilmore. And her title of her book is Mahogany Sin. It's an excellent book, and I would tell anybody to read it. So as soon as it comes out, Kelly will be on this show this month. I can't wait either.
I don't know how you can do it. You got to get me and Kelly on the same time. Maybe
I'm thinking about that. Doing the Chicago Writers Day. How about that?
Yeah, we got to do something. Yeah, that's just funny. That's my little sister, my kid sister.
Yep.
Not by blood. I mean,
I know.
But, she's a fellow writer, and all of the folks within the groups that I'm part, they're all my brothers and sisters.
Thank you.
And I'm loving it because I'm among like-minded people who are equally twisted as I am.
Yes.
Who sit around for hours racking their brain and how can they develop this character a little bit better? How can I tell this story the way it needs to be told? On and on and on. So they kind of understand the insanity that goes along with writing, but it's such a joy to do. It's really, you have to be born to do it, I think. And,
I think so.
Because you got to have a love for it, because I would be writing even if I never even made a living at writing. I'd be writing either way. But of course, it's a lot better to do what you love for a living and make a good.
It is. One of the writing groups I'm in, one of the guys had published something that I was doing because I hadn't really publicized it. I was working on it, and I want to do a trailer for my book.
Okay,
and
good. I can't wait.
And I know. And so the thing about it is, I used to work for the city of St. Petersburg. My book is based on the city of St. Petersburg, but it's in a fictional town. I had to make it fictionalized for a lot of reasons that I'm not going to go into right now. But I have to go through my old employer to get into a building because the building is showcased in my book. So that's what my my trailer is going to be about that. So I'm really excited about that, and I was like, wow, he's right. It's I got to get some working on that, and the perfect wife is. People's like, oh, that sounds boring. Well, it's not. It's a misnomer.
I can't wait.
It's a misnomer.
I'm on my writer's list too.
I know it's a.
I do.
Yeah, you do. You got me on there.
12 books in 12 months, but yeah, and I ended up having to extend it to 13. I wanted to make sure I got everybody on there who requested it. Yeah.
Yeah, my you know, the title is a misnomer. It is not what you think. And my lead character, Perry George, is going to shock a lot of people what he does for a living. But